Sometimes people can do things or say things that results in us being offended. But maybe they didn't mean offense. Maybe there's a different way of looking at the situation. Maybe it even means something good. Let's talk about that.
This is a beautiful thought.
Welcome, travelers. Welcome, beautiful thinkers. Welcome to a beautiful thought. I was thinking about something that happened many months ago. I remember I was sitting in a cafe, restaurant, a bar, or something, and I was watching this woman walk past, this beautiful woman, and I guess I noticed quite quickly that my gaze was making her uncomfortable, and so I looked away. Now, I suppose, from my perspective, all I was doing, admiring a beautiful woman. Now, it so happened, I imagine this is what actually was going on through her mind. It happened that this woman had only one arm. And maybe what was going on in her mind was that I was looking at her because she was somehow defective. I was staring at her because I thought she was a freak, that she was weird and different. And actually what was happening was I was admiring her beauty. Now, how many times in our lives do you think that happens when somebody is wishing us well or thinking kind things of us? Or maybe they're even indifferent, impartial, impersonal. Maybe they don't really care one way or another. And we take it as if it's something bad for us. Maybe what's really going on is they're wishing us well, secretly. And we don't have the confidence or the self-esteem to notice. And maybe the next time somebody says something which seems unkind, maybe they misspoke. Maybe they have good intentions all along. Okay, it doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes people do have bad intentions. But many times people just make a faux pas. They just make a little slip up and they don't mean to say what they said. Or they didn't know that it actually meant something different within the context. My friend, a friend of mine, Jake McCauley, told a story. All right, this is a little dark. What happened was he was at some party, a bar mitzvah or something. I don't know what the version of a bar mitzvah is for a woman, for a girl. Anyway, I think it was a bar mitzvah for a girl. And what happened was he had gone to the bathroom and they were showing some slideshow. And Jake didn't know anything about this. He came back out and somebody said something and Jake made a you mama joke. He joked about the mother of the birthday girl. And what he didn't realize that they'd just gone through showing the slideshow of the unfortunate and untimely death of this girl's mother. And Jake had no idea about that. Of course, he was making a crude joke, but it wasn't bad intention. What he really wanted to do was have a laugh and joke with some friends. He didn't realize that actually what he was doing was incredibly insensitive. He didn't know, and how could he have known, I suppose? And that's why, maybe people shouldn't make your mama jokes, because you never know. But the point is, even though this was like a terrible social error, even though he was still having good intentions. That was his intention, to spread joy, to have fun, to have a laugh. And maybe the world is the same. Maybe so many times when we think things are so dark, it's so grave, it's so serious, actually it's not like that. Maybe people have good intentions and just made a little mistake in their actions. And maybe we can overlook those things or forgive those things and assume good faith. Not easy to do. I have a problem with this myself. Of course, I think I tend to take things personally when I don't have to. Because there's always this little voice, this little ego inside the head, and it's trying to tell us, this is personal. This is what they're doing is exactly to attack you, to make you feel bad. Of course, that's just normally not the case, because for one thing, people are self-absorbed. They're in their own problems and not necessarily thinking about how things affect you. So sometimes, and in a sense, they're right to do that because they have their own business to maintain. But it means that sometimes they overlook things and they get insensitive. So, what's the big deal anyway? Maybe we don't have to take things so personally. Maybe we can even assume the best interpretation. We're trying to think, if this person had good intentions, what could they have meant? We can ask those questions, or we can just, let it go. That's another option. Not easy to do. I know, it's not easy to do. But we can keep working on that and keep thinking, well, there's, for example, these beliefs around it, like with Albert Ellis. He talked about these beliefs like, everybody has to like me. Everybody must approve of me. Of course, it's not a realistic belief. Life is never going to be like that. Of course, some people are not going to like us, perhaps because of what we are, or perhaps because of some impression that they have of us. They don't really know us. And when they do say something perhaps with bad intentions, well, that's a part of life too. But again, in a sense, it's impersonal because they're playing out their own dramas. Maybe in a sense, there's something well-wishing in that. Like even in the nastiest thing, even when somebody says something directly to insult you, in a sense, that is a compliment. You believe that? I believe that. Because what they're saying, underneath their words, they're saying, you are important to me. What you experience matters to me. Otherwise, they would never put in the effort to attempt to insult you. Even the nastiest things might be affirming something deeper, something truer, and something even a little sweeter. Thanks for listening, and have a wonderful day.
A beautiful thought.
Thanks for joining us. Now, if you think for a second, maybe 5 seconds, you might imagine somebody who would benefit from hearing this episode. If so, I invite you to send them a message, give them a little reason to listen to this podcast, send them a link, and if you do that, I will be much appreciated, and you will be bestowed with many thousands of globes of golden shining karma. That's a fact. Have a wonderful day.